Hello, my name is Stewart Wood, and I am a professor who teaches in the University of Virginia London First program in London. Um, Let me say a little bit about who I am. I have two lives. My first life was a life as an academic. I teach at Oxford University, and I've been teaching there for 30 years. But after 3 or 4 years of teaching at Oxford University, I decided I wanted to try my hand at getting involved in politics. So for the last 25 years, I have tried to live two kinds of life in my professional world. One is teaching and studying and doing research at Oxford University. And the second is being a political advisor. I've been a political advisor to a Labour Party Prime Minister here in the UK, Gordon Brown. I was an advisor to a leader of the Labour Party who came after that. And for the last 16 years, I have been a member of the upper house of our parliament, which is kind of the equivalent of the United States Senate, being a legislator, working on committees, making laws, talking about the issues that concern me. On top of that, I'm also involved in the arts. I play music. I embarrass myself on YouTube, playing my guitar. And I also passionate about theatre and have been on the board of a London theatre for the last 25 years, a theatre called the Royal Court. I've been teaching now the London First UVA programme for a few years, and it's one of the most enjoyable things I do every year. A group of students every year come over, mostly straight from high school, coming over to London before they've started their time in Charlottesville at University of Virginia, getting to experience the adventure of living in a country which in one way is extremely different from the world and the culture that they come from, but in another way has many common points of reference. Of course, we speak the same language, kind of, in between the United Kingdom and the United States. We have lots of culture in common, lots of music, lots of literature, lots of art. And London will be full of things that you'll find familiar, even if you haven't really focused much on the United Kingdom until you come to London. But in a way, the joy, it's wonderful seeing the joy of living in London week after week come to the students that do this course. You get to live right in the centre of London, in this almost idyllic place, in the middle of a park, Regent's Park, right in the centre of the city. So you are minutes away from so many of the great attractions of London, but living in quite a quiet, safe, secure residential area in the middle of Regent's Park. I firmly believe that studying politics is a window into the culture and the soul of a country. And the course that I teach is called Crisis and Change in Britain. It looks at the way that British politics works, but it doesn't assume that any of you know anything about either politics and political science or the UK. It starts with an assumption that you don't know anything at all. And what we do is week after week, we look at different features of the way that the UK's political system works, starting with the monarchy, one of our most famous institutions. Then we look at how our parliament works, how our government works, and then we look at how different parts of the United Kingdom relate to the capital of London. In the second half of the course, we go on to look at big issues that are changing British politics. Issues which people from a United States background will find have lots of parallels with your own country. The rise of populism, the challenge of social media and artificial intelligence. We'll look at climate change. We will look at the way that the United Kingdom has decided to leave the club of European nations and seek a different future in its economic and political relationships internationally. So a lot of issues that are currently not only challenging British politics, but changing it at a rate that, frankly, I never thought would be possible, we'll look at. But we're looking at this in order to understand the country. We want to understand the political system, but actually fundamentally, what I love to do is over 12 or 13 weeks, give a group of UVA students a sense of what life is like in Britain, what the debates are that people are having here about how our country needs to change, and those things which people don't want to change, perhaps feel are changing too fast.